Hello there everybody, Bullibo10000 here, bringing you another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate leak analysis video. Today, we are once again going to be taking a look at a leak that was linked to me on Twitter. But before we get into that leak, I just want to quickly bring up the Greninja leak that came up a little while ago. Someone came to the Isaac Smashboards thread about 6 to 7 hours, I believe, before the Greninja post went up and said, "Don't believe it! It's gonna be the anniversary of X and Y, and everyone's predicting Greninja to be the next Pokemon on the blog anyway." So, that Greninja leak, I haven't covered it. I know other YouTubers have covered it. I'm not going to personally cover it because it's the same sort of deal as the Zorora Wii Fit Trainer leak. It's just an easy guess to make, given if you look at the current dates left and the very small amount of characters left to show on the blog, it's a lot easier to kind of predict which characters are coming next. So just keep an eye out for specific Japanese dates that, or game release dates that could relate to a character yet to appear. I'll probably do an entire video on that at some point. But anyway, to today's leak, this was sent to me by user @CyberTechWarwolf, who is a werewolf on Twitter, and they said, @BillyBay10k, so when trying to find a believable leaker, it's hard when other posts shit leaks or joke leaks. Here's one I found that seems to be playing safe, but maybe fake. What are your thoughts? So naturally, if they're gonna ask me for my thoughts, I'm gonna deliver my thoughts, and I'm just grateful you guys think I'm important enough to discuss these leaks with, so let's get straight into it. The leak was posted by the user Dark Typhlosion, and it was a Reddit post titled Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, a few things to expect. So let's get into it, let's see what this leak is posing to us, and let's see just how real it is. I have something related to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I have a source from Nintendo, but for confidentiality, I cannot say whom. My source said that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will only have a total of 9 unique newcomers. Yes, this includes Inklings, Ridley, Simon, and King K. Rool. My source has told me only to expect the following characters. 1. Isaac from Golden Sun. 2. Skull Kid, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. 3. An unsure Square Enix character. 4. Incineroar, Pokemon Sun and Moon. 5. Dante, Devil May Cry. As for Echo Fighters, he is only sure of the following. 1. Ken, Ryu from Street Fighter. 2. Birdo, Yoshi from the Mario series. 3. Felix, Isaac from Golden Sun, introduced with Isaac of course. And 4. Shadow, Sonic the Hedgehog series. So, this leaker has made the worst mistake I think anyone could ever make. He says there is a total of 9 unique newcomers, and he forgets to list Isabelle. Isabelle was not listed among the newcomers that were suggested. He stopped at King K. Rool. He forgot that Isabelle existed. Oh no! Oh, that is just a death sentence already. My god, this leak is getting off to a great start. When you forget a unique newcomer that is classified as a unique newcomer on the website, well done. But obviously, let's just kind of take this from the top. They have a source from Nintendo, but for confidentiality, they can't say their name. So does every other leak out there. Be different. Don't tell us your story. Don't tell us about your sources. We don't want to know. We want the information. When you start talking about, oh, you have a source at Nintendo, it is the most cliched answer you can give. And obviously, you're going to have a source at Nintendo. It's the only way that you will know about this sort of information that is being leaked on a primarily Nintendo game. Of course, you're going to hear the information from Nintendo. It doesn't need to be stated. So, Ultimate will only have a total of 9 unique newcomers. I actually believe this. I actually believe we could be seeing 8 to 9 unique newcomers being added this time round. But I don't think this one holds any credit, because obviously they forgot Isabelle. They said Inklings, Ridley, Simon, and King K. Rool. Didn't say Isabelle. Looking at the characters, they are clearly piggybacking off of the Verge Ben leak, because they have Incineroar, and they have an unsure Square Enix character, because Vergaben's Square Enix character is unsure, you know, and because all of the rumors going around have been saying, oh yeah, the people who work at Square Enix have been getting false names and have been getting different names over and over. so that they can catch leakers and all that sort of stuff. It kind of just points to the fact that no one is willing to just concretely say, this is the Square Enix character we're getting. Personally, if we are getting a Square Enix character, I think it will be Gino or Sora, but I don't know. I do like the choice of characters in this leak, though. Obviously, you guys know I like Isaac and Felix, that's great. Skull Kid, I'm completely fine with that. I'm alright with Skull Kid. He's not my first Zelda pick. I'd rather have Impa from Hyrule Warriors, but, you know, Skull Kid is a brilliant pick nonetheless. Incineroar, obviously, is expected and is a Pokemon rep. I'm not excited for Incineroar. I don't think many people are excited in the same way that, say, you'd be excited for Ridley, but I think Incineroar has its fans. Dante from Devil May Cry would be absolutely insane. I think a lot of people have actually wanted that, and seeing as Bayonetta is in the game, and Dante and Bayonetta's games are very similar in terms of gameplay style and in terms of just that same genre, I think it would be really interesting to have those two be in a position where they can actually face off. That would be insane. Echo Fighters, Shadow, Ken, and Felix all make sense. Birdo is a little bit iffy, if only because Birdo's whole thing is that she can shoot eggs out of her mouth, and if you don't incorporate that into her moveset, then you literally take away the one attack that she has ever exhibited in a Mario game. And on top of that, I feel like her nose and Yoshi's nose don't really fit. I think if you're gonna get a Yoshi Echo, I could imagine either Yarn Yoshi or the Yoshi from Yoshi's Woolly World, or I think maybe Boshi from Super Mario RPG. If you're bringing Gino into the game, you may as well bring him as well, because he's got his fans, he actually does. But everything else there is completely fine, completely makes sense, and I don't have that much of a problem with that character choice. Just obviously, the big thing, they forgot Isabelle, and like, how can you forget Isabelle? She adorable dog. So, moving on to the next part of this, that is all for characters, but I do have a little more information. I was told that for certain costumes, you must have Nintendo Switch Online. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep, the Nintendo are going to literally hide cosmetic costumes behind the Nintendo Switch Online. That's gonna piss off a lot of people. Some costumes they know for sure are Meta Ridley for Ridley, the Kingdom Hearts costume for Cloud, a Majora's Mask costume for Young Link, shiny Pokemon alts, Hero Shade costume for Link, Mr. L for Luigi, Royal Engineer for Toon Link, Leaf for Marth, Demise for Ganondorf includes the Girahim sword for his smash attacks, and Octoling for the Inkling. 4 stages, there will be 5 more to be introduced, and here are the ones I know of. 1, Venus Lighthouse from Golden Sun. 2, the Battle Tree from Pokemon Sun and Moon. 3, Temen Nigru from Devil May Cry. 4, this unknown Square Enix characters will have a stage, I'm just not sure what it will be. Wait, so there will be 5 more introduced, he only says 4, he doesn't say that he knows all 5, good, okay. So, let's just, and my source has told a few characters and is unsure what the Square Enix rep really is. That is information that has been floating around with every leaker. They've been saying, oh, we don't know who it is, there have been multiple names getting thrown around, we're not sure. That's just kind of going with the current trend, which is good, because it makes it sound more believable. That being said, they just tried to sell us on costumes being Nintendo Switch Online locked, and that is the worst decision I think this game could ever come up with. I mean, putting Meta Ridley behind Nintendo Switch Online is going to piss off a lot of people. I'm not saying that it's going to necessarily cause like major controversy. It will cause a minor controversy if this is the case, and I don't know if Nintendo really wants that with the Nintendo Online at the moment, but most people will be paying for online anyway if they're getting Smash, because most of the fun does come from that multiplayer, and for people like me who don't have anyone to play with IRL, playing online is our only option. Looking at all of these different skins though, Meta Ridley as a Nintendo Switch Online perk, no. He's already been shown off in normal gameplay, they're not going to do that. Kingdom Hearts costume for Cloud, believable, makes sense. A Majora's Mask costume for Young Link, I'm not really sure what that would entail. Do they mean like Fierce Deity for Young Link, or something like that? Because he already has the same design from Majora's Mask, because his design between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask never changed. I don't see how that makes sense. Shiny Pokemon alts, I'm pretty sure most Pokemon had their shiny variants as an alt skin already, if I recall. Pokemon Trainers confirmed to have shiny alts with the different palette swaps. I don't know about the other Pokemon, but I think it would make sense if their shiny alts were actual alt costumes that were already implemented in the game, so I don't think that makes sense. 5, Hero Shade costume for Link. That interests me. I like the idea of the Hero Shade costume. It was a really cool design from Twilight Princess, and I would love to see it. Don't think it's gonna happen. Mr. L for Luigi. I don't know Mr. L. I think he's from one of the Paper Mario games, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I can't really judge that. Royal Engineer for Toon Link, I'm surprised hasn't actually happened yet, given the Spirit Track stage we had in Smash 4 and how he actually had a model with that Royal Engineer costume. I think that just makes like a really good idea for an alt costume, and I would like to see that. Leif for Marth, I believe Leif is... I would like to say another Fire Emblem Lord from another game. I am not too knowledgeable on the earlier Fire Emblems, so I'm not 100% sure. Demise for Ganondorf. That would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. I'm not sure how Demise would look with Ganondorf's moveset, though. And Octoling for Inkling. I really feel like if they're going to go with the Octolings, I feel like it's going to be an Echo Fighter. I don't think they're going to get alt costumes, and I don't think they're going to get, like, purchasable costumes either, because with the Octolings, you have to balance the colors that they use with the Inklings ink color sets, so that if the Inklings and the Octolings face each other, that it's very clear this color, it belongs to this Inkling, and this color belongs to this Octoling, stuff like that. That's sort of like a design challenge that they have to make if they wanted to include the Octolings. I just don't think the idea of Nintendo Switch Online costumes will be there for launch. Maybe for DLC, we could get like 1 or 2 costumes, and that would be more okay, because, you know, it's DLC. But for launch, I don't think they're going to hold anything behind the Nintendo Switch Online, except for, you know, multiplayer components. So, for stages, they said Venus Lighthouse, Battle Tree, Temen Nigru, and an unknown Square Enix stage. So, in a sense, they said 3 stages, because they don't know what the 4th stage is. They just know that it's going to be involved with one of these Square Enix characters. Now, that obviously tells me that it's probably a new franchise, if they are going with that. Thinking that this is true, if we believe this leak is true, then it has to be a new franchise. We're not going to get another Final Fantasy stage. I don't think there's anything else that could really work as a stage like Midgar does, so we could probably see Forest Maze if it was Geno, or maybe Destiny Islands or Hollow Bastion if it was Kingdom Hearts. Nah, Atlantica if it's Kingdom Hearts. Let's go. We can have a full-on quick time event segment, and it'll be great. Venus Lighthouse for Golden Sun, it's the popular stage, it's the most speculated Golden Sun stage, if Golden Sun is getting in. Battle Tree from Pokemon Sun and Moon is a clever one. I didn't really think about the Battle Tree. I always thought that Aether Paradise might get the focus, because it was not only a big focus in the main game, but also a focus in Team Rainbow Rocket segment as well. I don't know what Temen Nigru is for Devil May Cry. I'm afraid I have little knowledge on that series. Aside from, you know, that it's a great series and all that, so I'm afraid I can't really say anything about that. So yeah, we're just gonna move on. At least this person is adhering to the 108 stages rule, which is good if you put stake into the Goro Goro magazine, which I feel most people should, because it's Goro Goro, they're not gonna lie. So lastly, he said, and this is the best part, as for Spirits mode, Spirits is not the actual name. It was a placeholder name for the adventure mode that Sakurai has yet to name at the moment. However, Adventure mode, and it has the worlds from the different game series introduced in Smash Ultimate so far, and will have cutscenes like Subspace, but with written dialogue. This is one of the ways you unlock characters, but the way characters are introduced in Spirits is through what game they were introduced in the games. For example, you must unlock the first 12 original fighters that were in Smash 64 before you, the characters in Melee, will be introduced, and so on. This holds true for Echoes as well. Characters like Lucina or Dark Pit won't be introduced in the Brawl or Melee era characters. That's all I have. Thanks for reading. So this is a lot to unpack. I'm going to take a sip of my drink and then we're going to get straight into it. So let me just take a sip of my drink here. It's a good drink. Anyway, Spirits mode is not the actual name. I call bullshit. Main reason being, even though we saw that it was Spirits mode in the English Direct, in the Japanese Direct, the kanji that was used for Spirits mode did actually say Spirits as well, so it is Spirits in both languages, and thus I doubt they would lie about this name any further than that. I don't see why they would put a placeholder name for something that was already blurred and pixelated out to begin with, and it makes no sense. However, I would not be surprised if there is more to spirits than meets the eye. So obviously it is peddling the same sort of theory that it is an adventure mode, and it has the worlds from different game series in Smash Ultimate. It's kind of touting itself as a Subspace Emissary clone. It's got cutscenes, but with written dialogue. It doesn't say whether this is spoken dialogue, or whether it's sort of like, you know, Fire Emblem Warriors, or Hyrule Warriors, where you kind of like read the text bubbles as you go. But what I find really interesting is that it says that you must unlock the first 12 original fighters, and then move to Melee, and then move to Brawl, and then Smash 4, and then Ultimate. I'm not sure if that is how Sakurai is going to do it. I think it would make sense from a story perspective, but there certainly should be ways to unlock other characters on the roster from later games earlier for those people who do main characters from those later games. That is, I think, very important, and I think Spirits Mode, if you want to go through that, I do think Spirits Mode will be what unlocks most of the fighters, but at the same time, you do have to wonder how they're going to structure it. I don't think they will structure it like 64, then Melee, then Brawl, then Smash 4, then Ultimate. I think what they'll do is they will structure it via franchises, where we might start off with the main franchises from 64, and then we could perhaps kind of get other characters from those franchises who were introduced in later games to come on in as well, or we could just go full on Subspace and just have it go all across the board to different characters as you go. No one really knows what Spirits Mode is. We're gonna find out eventually, but I don't think that this is one of the more believable Spirits Modes. I mean, I think this leak overall does have a lot of iffy points to it. Obviously, it forgot Isabelle. It is saying that Spirits is a placeholder name, despite the fact that the kanji is spirits in Japanese. That's a really big thing. And honestly, the Nintendo Switch Online costumes, I don't think that's a good business decision, and I don't think Sakurai would do that. I really don't think he would do that. He would have to be forced by Nintendo to do that. So overall, if I had to give this leak a rating, well, I think it's more believable than the last leak we covered, because the last leak had like 50 fucking characters. But this one, I will say, and I apologize for the language there, but I will say, this leak gets a 4 out of 10. I think it does too much wrong, as with the other leak, to kind of be believable. It doesn't come across as believable just based on what we know from the Smash series so far, from the fact that, you know, trying to peddle costumes that are locked behind Nintendo Switch Online. No, that's not going to happen, especially saying that Meta Ridley is going to be one of them. No. Obviously, the lack of Isabelle, the spirits, no, it all kind of adds up, and the problem is, if Isabelle is incorrect, then the amount of unique newcomers being 9 is incorrect, because there should be 10. And then obviously if the Spirits Mode thing is just a placeholder, I don't believe that, because it's the same in both languages, and if they got that wrong, then the rest of it's probably wrong as well, and it's just kind of speculation that we've already seen so far. So, that is my opinion of this leak. I think it is fake. I don't think it is real. It has made some very junior mistakes, but I think it is more well-structured than the leak from the other day. So, Cybertech Werewolf, I hope you enjoyed me analyzing this leak. Dark Typhlosion, if you're out there, good job making this leak. Just, you know, just try and get some better points next time, that's all. Try not to be so controversial. Sometimes you don't want to rock the boat. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you are interested in more Smash Leak discussion or Smash discussion in general, check out my Discord down below, where we have an entire segment dedicated to Smash Brothers, as well as just a nice community place for people to hang out. We have just hit 600 members. We are going for 700 now. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 18,000 subscribers, which is insane. We're trying to get to 20,000 by the end of November, by my birthday, so we'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.